Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to episode number 1 of the Boom or Bust podcast. I'm your host, Shoot the Rock, and I'm here with my boys, JJ and Matt. What's up, guys? How are we doing today?
Good, man, good. Had a really good Sunday. Football was great, and yeah, now we're here. We're live.
Oh man, it feels good finally getting this podcast done. Been talking about it for a while, and here we are.
Here we are. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, we'll give you guys a little rundown here. So, on this podcast, we're going to talk all things sports. We're going to start some football, switch over, talk a little baseball. Even, it was the sports equinox yesterday, so we'll throw some hockey and basketball in there at the end. So, yeah, we're going to start here with some football takes, our takeaways from this past Sunday. And, JJ, what do you got for us, man? Where do you want to start?
Yeah, man. There's a lot of places you can start after this week. A lot of shitty injuries that happened. Obviously, Brees Hall going down really sucked, not just from a Jets fan standpoint, but from an NFL standpoint as well. One of the top emerging rookies from this class. But, I think the biggest takeaway is the fact that the old quarterbacks are out and the new ones are in. We saw Brady struggle for third week in a row. The Packers offense is sputtering all over the place. And, man, these new age quarterbacks, Mahomes, Burrow, they just lit it up this weekend per usual.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
touch on that. Go ahead.
No, you go for it. You got something to say.
Yeah, to touch on that Brees Hall injury, that's just sad. It's like his potential was like as an RB1 was through the roof. Not even just fantasy wise, just real life wise. He was really emerging as like that promising back for that franchise, and it's tough to lose him. And they just made a trade. I don't know if anyone saw, but they just acquired James Robinson from Jacksonville, giving up like a sixth and a seventh, I think. So
Ooh.
hopefully, I mean, that can continue leading them down the right path because the Jets and the Giants, we'll touch on them. Those both two New York teams look like good football teams. But yeah, go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, I mean, that's both great points for you guys. I mean, that's the two big takeaways for me is just any given Sunday, man, there's a reason they play the games not on paper. So, I mean, who would have thought the Panthers, they trade away McCaffrey, they trade away Robbie Anderson, and what do? They beat the Buccaneers, who can't even put up a single touchdown. My man Tom Brady is going through it. He's got these off the field issues. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers' issue is. He hasn't talked to his family in years, and bro can't even beat the
Exactly.
Commanders.
Part of the reason I think Brady's struggling so bad right now is I don't really think he's in it all the way. I mean, he gets his Wednesdays and Fridays off from the team that he just doesn't show up for practice, doesn't enter the facility. Those are his, veteran rest days. And at some point you gotta wonder, like, is the team chemistry really there? Because that offense just is not clicking. All those weapons through the board, offense and defense, and it was a bad loss. It's probably the low point of Brady's career so far in Tampa.
Yeah, that was a game where I in a million years, like Derek said, games aren't played on paper, but in a million years, I never thought that Carolina team without CMC and Robbie. It's not that Robbie's good, but he's probably their second best receiver, easily behind DJ Moore, and they come out and they just like that game was just a steamroll. There wasn't a chance that the Bucks looked like they could compete in that game. They couldn't get first downs with Lenny, and it was bad. But I want to touch on another game real quick that I think is really interesting, if you don't mind. I think I want to touch on the Ravens game a little bit against the Browns.
All right, what do you got for us?
I the Ravens to me that whole AFC North division is just very iffy right now. You got teams on highs and lows. Like the Bengals are starting to finally find form, I think. But Baltimore, these close games are just I'm not proud of it. I don't know what to say. It's just Baltimore's scraping away by 3 points against Cleveland, and it's like back to back weeks where they've just blown fourth quarter leads. And I'm worried about that team as a whole, and I don't know if they're gonna be a for sure wild card team this year.
I mean, that's what cost the Ravens last year. They went from being the top seed in the AFC to missing the playoffs just because they couldn't finish games. I mean, the fact they could finish to this weekend was a big deal. I mean, that division is up for grabs. I don't know if you want to
Oh,
touch on it a little bit, JJ, but our Steelers, man, they threw away a game at the end there.
Yes, they did. And before we get into Kenny Pickett and the Steelers, I think the Ravens do bring up an interesting point. It's hard to feel good as a Ravens fan about this win this past
Gotta be.
weekend. I mean, once again, their highest receiver was Rashad Bateman, 4 catches, 42 yards, not a single touchdown. I mean, this offense, we know what they're gonna do. They're gonna run the ball,
Run the
and they're
football.
gonna make you stop it. I
Yeah.
was I was very high on Lamar. I still think he's very disrespected, but man, he just doesn't look right throwing the ball. I mean, Mark Andrews, the first time
Yeah.
in his career he hasn't had a catch. He had
No.
one rush for 4 yards. I mean,
Yep.
you're not making playoff runs, handing the ball off 40 times a game. I mean,
Yeah.
you got Lamar Jackson. He's proven he can sling the rock around. They just are not committed to it.
I think we should talk about the Colts real quick. Just dabble. We'll be done in 2 minutes.
I mean, go for it. What
Matt
do you got? What
Ryan?
do you got on the Colts?
Sam Ellinger season, baby.
Sam
Let's go.
Ellinger, is that really gonna be the guy? Matt
Yeah,
Ryan is
man,
just looking like a turnover machine. I mean, he is still like top 3 or 4 in passing yards. Yeah, he's like got like 10 or 9 or 10 touchdowns. But he also has like 9 interceptions, 13 fumbles or something. Whether he recovered them or not, that's an issue you got to worry about. I just that Colts team, Jonathan Taylor being injured the last couple of weeks, I think everybody going into the year thought that was the Colts division to lose, without a doubt. Tennessee and Derrick Henry coming off an injury, and then you're not really putting your faith in anybody else in that division. And the Colts they can't buy a win to save their lives.
No, I mean, we got quarterback controversies all over the places. Usually we're going to be recording before Monday Night Football, but man, we picked a game that, not a good one, but Mac Jones didn't have anything going, and sure enough,
Nope.
Bill Belichick goes to Bailey Zappi. I mean,
Yeah.
Patriots fans are cheering for him. They think it's to be a Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe situation
Yeah.
all over again. I don't know about that one, but man, the Bears, they came to play, and I mean, who knows?
It's a
Like
very
I
good
said,
defense too. I mean, Justin Fields was lighted up. That was probably one of his best games of his young career.
I would argue that might have been his best game of his career. We can look at analytics and numbers and touchdowns and interceptions, but I straight up think Justin Fields looked really good in that game. There was a couple fumbled snaps, but that's going to happen in Foxborough. It's foggy. You're not on the same.
Yeah, not a great weather
snap
day.
count as your center. It's just that Patriot defense. Bill Belichick is known for limiting or holding young to slash rookie quarterbacks in a sense, and Justin Fields just kind of did what he wanted most of that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, 10 first downs for the Bears. First time they've done that since 2015. I mean, Justin Fields kept the ball clean, limited the turnovers. They ran the ball, they threw the ball, mixed in play action a lot, and then that defense, man, they look good.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
did.
forcing turnovers. I mean, Justin Fields showed out last year on the Monday night game against the Steelers, so maybe bro just needs to play on Monday night all the time.
Monday night, I think he is like 3-0 in Monday Night Football now.
Well, they lost that game last year, but I mean,
Oh, okay, so it's
they
2-1.
they were so close to winning. They honestly could have pulled it out.
Yeah, he's been all right. The Chargers, on the other hand,
I mean, that's another division. I mean, people thought the Chargers could challenge the Chiefs this year. I mean, the Chiefs roll over the Niners yesterday.
I
The
didn't.
the Chargers, not much going against the Seahawks. The
I
NFC West
preseason.
first place Seahawks. But yeah, what you got on
that
the
is a
Chargers,
crazy
JJ?
thing to say going into Week 8.
Yeah.
NFC West leading Seattle Seahawks with Geno Smith at the helm.
Mm-hmm.
You told me that going into Week 1, I would have called you ludicrous.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not.
I mean, they turned Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner into like 7 draft picks in the next
Yeah.
years, couple first rounders, and I mean, they absolutely fleeced the Denver Broncos on that one.
Yeah. Kenneth Walker. Oh, talk about running backs that could
Yeah.
be that guy. Just like
Now there's a guy that I like, Kenneth Walker, good old Big Ten power running back.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
That man glides. He
Rashad
does
Penny
it
goes
right,
out and
glide.
Walker steps right up. So
That's right.
I
Fills
mean,
up the
that's
slot.
that's
You
been
telling
the.
me, man? I drafted Rashad Penny in all my fantasy leagues, so that one hurt.
I think I got Walker in our league, so I was pretty happy about
That's a
that.
good pickup.
So I'm trying to
NFL
think
though.
here. any other games we didn't touch on? I mean, we talked a little bit that New York teams are on fire. Jets, Broncos. Jets win that one. I'm trying to think here. The Raiders kind of rolled the Texans. I mean, like Matt said.
I was feeling that the Raiders needed a big win here. They're a high-powered offense. You got a great, in my opinion, a top 15 back in Josh Jacobs. You got a top five, undoubtedly tight end.
Jacobs.
Yeah, Josh with the hat trick.
3 touchdowns,
3
right?
tutties, yeah.
He's put up back-to-back 100-yard weeks, multiple touchdowns. I mean, this was a guy that was projected at the beginning of the season to be splitting time. Like, he wasn't,
Yeah.
Facing free agency next year. He was supposed to be a guy, on the cusp of maybe taking over like a 52-55% of the backfield work. But, man, he looks good. Raiders.
Yeah, definitely a big win they needed, and they're going to stay in contention in that division. I mean, like we said, Denver and Los Angeles. I keep wanting to say San Diego, even though they haven't been there for years.
It's just natural.
Exactly. You guys got anything on Giants, Jaguars? That's another Giants, man. They're playing well.
If you were to tell me that the Giants would have 3 more wins than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, no.
Yeah.
What are they now? 6-1, right?
6-1. I mean,
6-1.
wins over the Packers. They've beaten. Well, granted, I mean the Packers aren't what they thought they were, but
Their preseason win total was set at 2.5, 3.5, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Giants were. I mean,
they beat the Packers. They beat Lamar.
Saquon Barkley, obviously.
He's
comeback player of the year so far.
I think that's for sure.
He's looked better. He's looked better than he's ever been, to be honest.
Easily. They've beaten some good teams too. Like, I wouldn't say the Titans are a great team, but week 1 that's a tough matchup.
On the road.
Beat the Packers in London last week.
Then you play I think they played Lamar. You beat Lamar.
Yeah.
The Giants beat Lamar. So the Bears, that's nothing too high on my rating. But the Cowboys, they only lost by a touchdown, I think, in that game.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys pulled away a little bit late, and I mean the Cowboys, another team. It took a while, but they rolled 24-6 over the Lions this week. I mean, the NFC East might be the division in the NFC.
It is.
The Giants are competitive. The Cowboys are playing well. They're gonna get Dak back. Or did he play this week? He played this week, didn't he?
He was back.
Never mind, I forgot about that. I missed the game.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, Dak, 207 yards, 19-25 with a touchdown. I mean,
okay. Yeah, he's back.
His touchdown was it was kind of garbage time, but
yeah.
They pounded the ball. Zeke Elliott, Tony Pollard looking like one of the best RB duos in the league, to be honest.
Yeah.
About time though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, especially behind that offensive line, they should be going crazy.
I don't care if you have Cooper Rush at the helm or Derek Warren. It's just feed the beasts. That's all you got to do.
Exactly. All right. Well, if we don't have anything else in the NFL,
transition.
Okay, we do have one more thing.
You got your thoughts on Kenny Two Gloves, small hand Kenny?
That might have been one of the worst 10 minutes of my entire life, between Gleyber Torres throwing away a double play ball and Kenny Pickett absolutely forcing a throw. I mean, this is what you're going to get by starting a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. He's forcing balls. And, I mean, you know what? He's going to learn. But, I mean, here's the thing is, I'm like Steelers fans, we can't expect to be competitive and, have a winning season this year. If we had Mitch at the helm, I think potentially we could. So he's a bit more of a game manager. I think definitely for the future, Kenny's the move. But, yeah, I mean, not great stuff we've seen from him so far, but I mean, he's going to learn. It was a competitive game. They've looked better the past 2 weeks. I'm going to be honest. After the Jets and the Buffalo games, the Steelers were not looking good. They've been better. They head into the bye. Maybe we can rally off some wins. We have the Philly next week. Okay, so probably not going to look great. And then head into the bye.
Sick.
Yeah, but
I want to touch on Kenny Pickett. I'm a big quarterback judger. I don't know if that's the right phrasing, but I've liked Kenny Pickett. You're taking chances, you're throwing the ball, you're not throwing it for 110 yards a game, 19 attempts. You're throwing the ball, you're letting it fly, and he looks confident most of the time. And that's what all you can ask for from a rookie quarterback who's also splitting with like a 5-year quarterback. Like him and Mitch have been in and out of the lineup. It's kind of hard to get control of an offense when you're getting 50% of the snaps.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
difficult. You're in OTAs or in practice, you're practicing with the second string, and then you're getting thrown in to play Miami defense, who's quick, fast. They can run all over the place. I mean, the third interception, it was a little.
The last two were pretty bad.
But
see, I wouldn't really even say it was thrown in though. Like he got knocked out of the game last week because he had a concussion, and then he was cleared. So he was practicing this week. He was good to go. And I mean, yeah, he has been confident. But the thing is, he's not playing in the ACC anymore. Some of these throws he can't make. So and it's going to be a learning curve, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, as a Steelers fan, and to our fan base, we then have to tamper our expectations for this season.
Agreed.
I mean, if we're going to tamper expectations, we should have just tanked for Wembanyama, you know? I mean, we signed Trubisky anyway. Like, we should have wrote out the year with Trubisky and then loaded up for this absolute insane quarterback class we have coming up this next year.
That's true. I don't hate the idea, but I think Tomlin and tanking, just those two don't go together.
No, exactly.
Never had a below 500 season. So, I mean, even with Trubisky, I mean, I don't think we would have gone very far, but we could have at least scrapped together a serviceable season with our weapons and then had a decent draft spot for like a great first round quarterback. But I mean, they bought in on Kenny, hopefully it pays off.
Yeah. All right, so now switching over, as I mentioned, it was a tough couple minutes there for me as Pickett got picked off. Gleyber Torres threw away the Yankees season. And now we're going to talk a little baseball. Some Astros-Phillies, here's our World Series matchup. Not what I would have thought coming into the postseason, at least from the National League side. Did you guys watch any of these games this weekend? And if so, what were some of your takeaways?
I sure did.
Okay, what do you got for us, JJ?
How about them fighting Bills, man? Those bats look electric. The crowd looked electric. I mean, what a great time to be a Philly sports fan in general, too. They look good. Bryce Harper, finally, his character arc is coming full circle after being a 16-year-old phenom dubbed the next, LeBron James of the MLB. He finally gets his trip to the World Series. Love to see it. Schwarber making his second World Series run. I mean, Cubs fans got to be happy.
Oh, I'm thrilled. Just thrilled over here. Castellanos gets a shot at one. Like, I'm happy.
Yeah, another former Cub, too.
I'm just happy for the Phillies. Big Schwarber fan. Never super high on Bryce Harper. Obviously, you respect greatness wherever it is. But, God, that guy's got some pop. He's got some swagger. He's like I think he's leading the MLB postseason in hits, too. He's got like 19 or 20 through like, I don't know, 8 or 10 games maybe. Guys,
yeah, I mean,
maybe 2 a game. I'm not a big baseball fan over here, but God, Bryce Harper is something special. He really is.
I mean, that's why you pay all that money for him, because I mean, he comes up big in a big situation like that, and I mean, everyone's been hitting for the Phillies. Like Rhys Hoskins been hitting. I mean, they put up 10 runs. And that's my biggest thing is, like, they always had an answer. They get down 4-0 in the first inning of Game 4 there on Saturday. I mean, in the Yankees-Astros series, if the Astros got up 4-0 on the Yankees, the series was over. Like, the game was over. But the Phillies, like, respond back. They put up a 4 spot of their own. I mean, just absolutely crazy offensive games. I mean, sometimes in baseball, the team that wins the World Series just who's ever hottest. And, I mean, the Phillies could very well do that if they keep hitting the way they do. Because, I mean, when you have so many powerful bats in their lineup like they do and just the ability to put up a crooked number, that's going to win you games.
Yeah. I want to talk real quick before we fully dive into the World Series about the Yankees. And specifically about one player on the Yankees that I didn't hear of, didn't know his name until the playoffs started. And that guy's name is Harrison Bader. that guy can hit the baseball consistently. That is hard to do. He is playing like he played amazing for the Yankees, at least from what I saw during the playoffs. He was
Yeah,
by far the best player on
he's
that
also a
team.
great glove out there in center too. That was a very very nice late season pickup by the Yankees.
Did they get him from the
So they
Cardinals or how?
traded Jordan Montgomery to the Cardinals in exchange for Harrison Bader. And at the time, this was kind of a controversial trade because Montgomery, while he wasn't great for the Yankees, he's a left-handed arm pitching in that stadium. But the theory was he wasn't gonna start a postseason game, which he wouldn't have because they went to either Cole, Cortez, Severino, or in the tough spot they went to Tyone. So Montgomery would have been the next guy in line. So he's not getting a start. And yeah, I mean they trade for Bader to be a glove. Like they were just like, we need defense in center field. Aaron Hicks is not giving that to us. I mean, Judge played great in center field this year.
Brutal.
Yeah.
He was brutal.
I mean, you never want to see a guy go down injured, but yeah, like gets knocked out of the postseason. That was honestly the frustrating thing for the Yankees. It was a revolving door there in left field. I mean, they threw in Hicks. Joey Gallo, don't even get me started. To start the season, we trade for Benintendi. He gets hurt. I mean, Matt Carpenter comes back, and you don't see live at-bats for 2 months. It clearly showed. It's just not much came from him. And that was just the big thing. I mean, offensively, not much went on for the Yankees other than Bader was hitting consistently. Stanton and Judge both had a couple big homers, but other than that, I mean, there was nothing. Josh Donaldson was a free out. He should not be back on the Yankees next year.
Trevino was a free out too.
And that was the thing with Trevino is he did have a good year, like he was an all-star, but yeah, he definitely slumped in the second half. You lose a guy like Gary Sanchez because while Gary Sanchez can produce offensively, he was horrible blocking. It was horrible defensively. So they took the risk there in Trevino. I'm not going to say it didn't pay off, but yeah, you like to see more than him. Honestly, just overall a very frustrating series. Like that team is way too talented to get swept in 4 games. I mean, credit to the Astros. They had guys step up, and the Yankees didn't.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong at all about that. I was shocked when I saw a sweep. Like this playoff baseball postseason has been special.
I mean, I don't want to, sound the alarm and, suck myself off for anything, but I did say the Yankees would get swept before the series started. It was kind of all indication pointing towards that. I mean, they barely escaped that Guardians series. I really wish the Guardians made it past. No offense to Wood or anything, but the Guardians would have put up a way better fight than the Yankees did. I mean, the Yankees were just outmatched, pitching, hitting, defense, base running, like all aspects of the game. It wasn't.
So
wasn't
what
really
we're saying is it's the Astros World Series to lose.
I mean, Derek kind of touched on this earlier. If the Phillies keep hitting, bro, I mean, as nice as that Astros pen is, and their relief pitchers that they got going on, it don't matter. I mean, the Phillies put up crooked numbers on Blake Snell, Joe Musgrove, Darvish. They rattled, 3 top tier pitchers in the NL with no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Astros can keep hitting the ball, like, the clutch hitting from Bregman and Chas McCormick and, obviously Jordan and Altuve, if their bats come alive, they could make the series pretty close. But, I mean, you got games 3 through 5 in Philadelphia, big high leverage games where the home crowd is going to play a huge factor for them.
Oh, yeah.
If the Phillies can get one of the first 2 in Houston, it's their World Series.
It's kind of unique too because I'm pretty sure I saw this that during the MLB playoffs there's a Thursday night game and I think it's the Houston Texans versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep.
We're back with Houston versus Philly again.
No way.
It doesn't mean as much, but yeah, it's a little momentum.
Like this week or when is this game?
Thursday.
I think it's Thursday the following week because doesn't the postseason start on Friday?
Yeah.
The World Series starts Friday.
So yes, I think game 1's in.
Thursday, November 3rd, Eagles at Texans. I think by then the World Series would be over. Let me look at this. That might. I'm trying to think. Well, so the schedule, it's gonna be game 1's Friday, game 2's Tuesday, or Friday, Saturday. There's gonna be an off day Sunday. Yeah. And then we'll have another sports equinox on Halloween because it'll be
awesome.
World Series game 3, Monday Night Football, and then NHL and NBA obviously will have games. Yep. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Because this year I'm pretty sure, unless for the World Series they are having that second travel day, all these series only have one travel day. Oh no, they are having a travel day. Okay.
On
that Thursday. So we will have. So there will not be a game. Game 6, if it goes that far in Houston, will be Friday. But oh my gosh, you gotta think. Eagles and Phillies fans, like they have to be. There's gonna be all sorts of them flocking down to Houston, going to the Thursday night game, and then potentially game 6.
You're telling me Philly goes up 3-0 on Houston in the World Series, and the Texans aren't a little hungry to beat the Eagles? Like, I could see it.
Get out of here.
I just thought it was kind of interesting.
The Eagles. I'll throw a mortgage down on that.
All right, you're throwing your mom's mortgage or what?
Yeah, I'll take out a second one too. That's how confident I am.
All right, so before we wrap up here, let's get official picks down so I can make a nice fancy graphic or whatever. Matt, what do you got here? What is your final prediction? Who wins? How many games? And if you want, throw in a series MVP.
Give me Harper on the MVP.
Okay.
He's due for it. I'm gonna go Phillies 4-2.
Okay, Phillies in 6. What about you, JJ?
Man, I mean this pains me. I hate the Astros so much. I really do. But I don't see how this team loses the World Series. I think the Phillies make it close, but I have the Astros in 6 with Alex Bregman being the World Series MVP. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I want to see the Phillies win, but all it takes is one game for the Phillies to not show up hitting wise.
I like that. I like that MVP take, or that the final or the World Series MVP. I like that take. You're not going with the favorite in Jose Altuve, or you're not going with Jordan. You're going Bregman. Bregman's still a piece. Don't get me wrong. But
Bregman's their RBI leader right now. I mean, when it comes to postseason MVP like awards and performances, people remember the big hits.
Yeah,
that's what voters are gonna think of. And whoever shows up with those clutch RBIs is gonna be the one to take it home. But I hope I'm wrong. I really do.
Woot.
Oh. See, I'm actually really split, and that's why I'm going to say it goes 7 games. And I feel like we're due for one. We had a couple really good 7-game World Series there back in like the early to mid 2000s. Like Royals, Giants went 7, Cubs, Guardians, or Indians at the time, crazy game 7 went 7. The Astros' first World Series, and honestly, the only World Series this team has won, even though they've been now to this will be their 4th World Series, was in 7 games.
Yeah, and 4th World Series in
in 6 years. In 6 years.
I don't want to ruin your prediction, but baseball is the hardest sport to make, a championship appearance. Just high roster turnover. You got 162 games in a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so hard to replicate that success throughout a long season. The Astros have done it
consistency
for the last 6. Like, come on, that is absurd.
Yeah. So I'm going to say 7 games. I think it's going to be a slugfest. I wouldn't be surprised. We had some pretty high-scoring games like 2017, that Astros-Dodgers World Series. Game 5, the final score was like 13-12. The lead changed, I don't even know how many times, but it was insane. I could see us having a game like that in some point. I'm going to say the Astros win in Game 7. And I'm going to say Yordan Alvarez has a big hit that maybe doesn't win Game 7, but at least a walk-off or game-winning hit in one of the games that brings him the MVP. So that's what I'm going to go with.
I like that. Should be an interesting World Series, boys.
Yes, sir.
Have they named the starting pitchers for Friday yet?
Since it's so far out, probably not. Let me see what I can find here, but I don't think so. I'm trying to think. Well, I bet you it's probably gonna be Verlander because he went game 1 for the Astros in the ALCS. I forget if he did in the DS.
Nola or
I could see Nola or
Kyle
Wheeler.
Gibson maybe.
Because I mean, the thing is with this big break, both teams are gonna be rested and set their rotations like how they want to. So I mean, it's probably just gonna be ace on ace. I would think game 1. So
yeah, that's kind of where I
So I'm
give the
trying to see.
Astros the advantage in the pitching department.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. All right, so like we said, this is be coming up on Friday, but we got a couple days till Friday. So what are you guys gonna be watching? You got any games on the docket here this week? Any predictions you want to give out here in the NBA or NHL? What do we
I
got?
actually do.
Okay, what do you got for us, Matt?
Tomorrow night, we're heading down to Phoenix, Arizona. I love the Suns in this spot. 2-1 teams playing against the Warriors. I think the Suns come out with a nice early convincing win in that top Western Conference, like half of the side. I really like Phoenix this week. I really do.
About you, JJ?
Yeah, I just think that'll be a great game for sure. Late start out there 9 o'clock in Phoenix, so it might be a little bit tougher for some viewers to watch the whole thing. But I mean the Thunder already sitting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for a hip injury, also known as tanking for Wembanyama. I mean they're 0-3. They've looked absolutely abysmal as a team. I mean, they've gotten blown out now by 10 or more points in every single game, I think.
Yeah.
They're already sitting their stars. I mean, it's going to be a rough season for the Thunder.
It's called Sam Presti working his magic. He's about to get 900 more first-round draft picks, and he's just about to go nuts. That's what he does best. And then guess what? Tank the next year.
Yeah, and just keep tanking until they have every first-round pick for every NBA draft in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Also, I see Woot with Kobe. Shout out Kobe, R.I.P. the legend.
Shout out the GOAT.
Russell Westbrook leading off where he's left off last
year. That whole
year.
team is leading off where they left off last year.
I mean, that shot Russ took, game on the line where he just absolutely bricked that hole. Like, there's a funny reaction. I encourage all 2 of our viewers out there right now. Go look up the reaction Anthony Davis and LeBron James had after they saw Westbrook put up that shot that just bricked miserably. They looked pissed.
That makes 3 people. I haven't seen it, so I need to go look at this because
it was hilarious. Russ goes up for the shot. Brown and AD are holding their hands up, shaking their head before it even jagged off the rim. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Russ is out of there by the trade deadline.
Yeah,
maybe even more than that.
I could see him gone before.
Let me pull this up again. Take this with a grain of salt because I'm seeing it on the Basketball Forever Instagram. They are pretty, it's not your typical Instagram page that's just spewing nonsense about the NBA.
Yeah, not Barry McCockner.
No.
It's not Ballsack Sports.
Exactly, but I saw here the Lakers could potentially have trade talks with the Jazz for some sort of trade that would involve Jordan Clarkson, Mike Conley, and Rudy Gay. And this is via The Ringer. So,
okay. I mean,
I think
Jordan
Clarkson would fit in great on that team.
Oh, yeah.
Former Laker. I mean, he was, as weird as this to say, he was low-key my favorite Laker there after Kobe retired before Alonzo Ball came around. Fun guy to watch play. I wouldn't mind seeing him back in a Laker uniform.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, the Jazz, though, talking about another team, Utah. Aren't they 3-0 to start out?
They were undefeated, surprising, with some big wins. They did lose tonight against the Rockets, who they'll have another shot at on Wednesday. The teams are playing again. But yeah, Rockets picked up their first win tonight. They beat the Jazz. So
big for my fan base of Houston over here. Let's go Rockets, fam.
Lauri Markkanen, too.
Oh,
yeah.
Lauri's been balling.
Yeah.
For me, the big NBA game I'm watching is actually I think the Blazers won. So the Blazers still undefeated, but the other undefeated team, Milwaukee Bucks, they're hosting the Nets Wednesday night, the first game of the ESPN doubleheader. And I mean, the Nets, if they are going to show they're for real and a team that can compete this year, I think they need to win a game like this. I mean, if they lose this, they're already starting out 1-3. The Bucks can really show how they're the top team in the East if they move to 3-0 if they win this one. And to be honest, I haven't been impressed with what I've seen from the Nets so far.
I agree entirely, completely. It's like, to me, the Nets, you hit it right on the head. The Nets need a big win like this, and they need to start out hot. They're not. We all know KD and we all know Kyrie Irving's personalities. They're not a team that, if they're 12-12 or 15-10, 12-12, 15-15, they're gonna start getting a little angry at each other. They're gonna start getting a little hostile over there in Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn needs a hot start. They need to be a top 4 seed through 20-25 games. And so far, they have not looked, like you said, they haven't surprised me much. KD's doing KD things. Kyrie's just dribbling all over. Can't guard him, but I need
Ben
more.
Simmons has fouled out of every game. I think. I mean, he's got more fouls than jump shots.
Bro might just want to retire. He's finally playing this year and he's falling out of the games. I don't think he wants to be on the court. Like, I don't know what he's doing.
He wants to go and stream with Kyler Murray.
I guess so.
XP weekend.
It was. Matt, you told me before this you've been watching a little hockey. Well, what do you got for us on the hockey front?
Hockey's been very interesting to me this year. I'm trying to grow on it, so it's very new. But there's some teams that I'm starting to like. I'm not, no bandwagon or anything. But, Pittsburgh looked really good to start. Boston looks really good to start. Obviously, the Chicago Blackhawks, not so much. But that team is probably...
Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to the Habs and Cole Caulfield. That's my guy.
Yeah?
I know him. That's the dude.
That's a good shout out right there. Yeah, no, I've been watching a little hockey, betting on some stuff.
Gotcha. What have been your teams to bet on? Who's been making you some coin?
Florida Panthers have been making me some coin.
Okay.
Panthers have been making me some coin, and Colorado. Is it? Yeah, Colorado.
Colorado. See, they have a big game tomorrow. That was one I was going to talk about here. They're playing the Rangers tomorrow. So two kind of teams. They're both 3-2-1 so far. So I mean, not great starts, but like solid.
Yeah.
The Avalanche have former Ranger backup Alexander Gorgiev as their starter now. So that's to be a bit of a revenge game tomorrow.
A bit of beef here, yeah.
Going against Igor Shesterkin in net for the Rangers. Won the Vezina last year. So, like, the best goalie in the league, for those of you who don't know. So, like, that's a game I'd keep my eye on tomorrow. And it's on ESPN. I know, they show hockey on ESPN now. Kind of nice. So, that's one I'm going to be watching. Yeah, and then you mentioned the Penguins. They actually lost tonight against the Oilers. Not a great result. But another team that's been off to a hot start, and they have a pretty hot name, the Flames. So the Penguins finishing up the Alberta double tomorrow. Flames, Penguins, both are 4 wins leading their division. I mean, that'd be another entertaining one I'd watch. I'd probably, if I'm theoretically were to bet on either of these games, I'd have to say the Flames and the Rangers would probably be my picks, just because those are 2 home teams. And I mean,
can't bet though, NCAA athlete.
Yeah, that's why I said theoretically. 2 teams in the Avalanche and Penguins going cross country to play road games, but those are my takes.
NCAA need to check this man's FanDuel account.
You gotta be excited for the home dogs in those games, though. You have to.
Exactly.
You gotta root for the home dogs on the ice. Can we real quick talk about one thing in hockey?
Sure.
JJ, our pal over here on the panel, might not even know this. There's a professional team playing in like a college stadium for the whole season. How just sad and defeated morale do you have to be to, like, you're a professional player and you're playing in like a 13,000, not even. I think it's like 11,000.
5,000.
Oh, yeah. Cut it in half.
It is over 10,000 fans, less than any other NHL arena. So here's the kind of some back.
What team is playing in a college?
The
stadium?
Coyotes.
Arizona Coyotes.
I'm not gonna
Why
lie.
is there an Arizona hockey team? Like, do the people of Arizona even know about the sport of hockey?
Can they even get ice cold enough down there?
Yeah.
Right, like.
Okay, so a little backstory here. So in the '90s, a couple teams relocated from hockey markets to Gary Bettman trying to expand the game to some other like different markets. One of those was the Winnipeg Jets moved to Arizona, and they're now the Coyotes. And
Aren't the Jets a team though?
yes, the Jets came back because one of those experiments, the Atlanta Thrashers, did not work out. The second time a team's left Atlanta, and then the Thrashers are now the Jets.
Man,
So
Atlanta don't give a flying.
exactly. And to
They
be
don't
honest,
care about hockey.
yeah, and exactly. And to be honest, probably Arizona doesn't either. I mean, they've had a couple reputable teams. I mean, 2012 they actually knocked off the Blackhawks and went to the Western Conference Finals. But so they almost got kicked out of their arena last year, the Coyotes, because they were not paying taxes. So now they're building a new arena because, again, since this is Gary Bettman's team that he moved to Arizona, he is not willing to punt on this experiment, and it's like taking pride in having the Coyotes. And I kind of wanted to check it out. Me and our good coworker from over the summer, William Taberthy, we're gonna potentially.
What a guy!
What a great guy! We're gonna potentially go to. We're gonna potentially go to a game. The Blackhawks are playing there like in March when it was potentially gonna be both our spring breaks. The tickets are north of $200.
And you want to know something that's crazy about that? You can, as all you viewers out here, you can go up on statmuse.com right now, and you can look up how much they were selling season tickets for at this Arizona Coyote Stadium, and the price that you're paying for one ticket is outrageous. I know a lot of people that I follow that are hockey fans and whatnot, and a bunch of them jumped on these season tickets. Have you ever heard of season tickets for like $3,000, $2,500? Yeah, it's ridiculous in professional sports. But no, the Arizona Coyotes only had 5,000 seats to sell. So whatever seats they're not selling, they're charging you $200 a ticket. That is outrageous.
Yeah. So I do not think we'll be making our trip down to Arizona to check out the Blackhawks.
No. You'll be paying more for the ticket than the airfare and the food combined.
Yeah.
Yo, JJ, that's a nice Curry jersey back there. Where'd you get that from, dude?
Yeah, man, Curry, it's the GOAT. Y'all can see the little portrait up here, too. That's, by the way, that's a youth medium Davidson jersey, Curry. I've been on
auction right now, $1,500.
Been on Curry for the last minute. But, speaking of Davidson and the college scene, I find it kind of disrespectful. We're talking NHL and not NCAA football. So I'm going to pivot just a little bit. I know we got 9 minutes left on the pod, but man, college football, talk about a year where a 12-team playoff would have been dope.
Amazing. Wonderful.
I mean, gosh, dude, college football is electric as ever. Obviously, I don't want to ride my own team, but I don't think a single NCAA collegiate football team can match up with the Buckeyes. I really don't. We're going to beat the brakes off of Michigan probably by 30-plus points.
I think Michigan is the most overrated undefeated team in college football right now. I'm taking Clemson. I'm taking the
Clemson's not very good either. I'm sorry
I don't trust Michigan.
They might be the most fraudulent number 5 team in the country. Personally, DJ Ungalele is not him. I think that experiment is going to be over quite soon. You throw Clemson into the grind of a Big Ten schedule, and I think they're 5-2, maybe 5-3.
The only reason I'm going to argue with you on this is Ohio State's played I think one ranked team, and that was week 1. So the rankings are going to be spread out just based off.
Our point differential is insane. I think our point differential we're plus 40 something right now.
I mean, yeah, that's great, but you got to play some ranked teams for me in the college football. You got
Hey,
to.
we got Penn State.
Well, they'll
Yeah,
get
oh,
one
no,
this weekend in Penn State, and I hate to burst your guys' bubble, but the reason we didn't talk much college football is I thought we could preview some of these matchups in our later in the week episode on Wednesday. So hope you guys that are tuning in to this one tune into that one as well. Plus, we're a week out from college football playoff rankings being revealed, so when those come out, we'll definitely talk about those as well.
Yeah, I
For
forgot
sure.
about that.
For sure.
And cool side note, College Game Day is going to Jacksonville
Yeah.
State University, an HBCU high-powered clash between the Deion Sanders-led JSU and who are they playing?
Southern, their big rival.
Yeah, Southern.
So.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
That is awesome. Yeah.
You know, a little disappointed we didn't get to see Penn State, Ohio State on College Game Day, but I definitely respect the HBCU love and coverage.
Yeah,
we're
for
gonna get
sure.
from
For
there.
sure.
That'll be a good matchup to look forward to. I can't wait till Wednesday. I love talking college football.
Yes, sir. Yep, so Wednesday we will be giving all our NFL college football picks for the upcoming weekend, talking about a little, what games went on this week that we watched. But JJ, Matt, you guys got anything else before we wrap this up?
Last thing I'm gonna say: the Miami Heat are frauds. Heard it here first. Not gonna be a top 5 team in the East.
That's Matt's take. What do you got? Any last words for us,
Take of
JJ?
the year.
Oh,
It doesn't even have to be a take. You can just say goodbye to everyone.
yeah, I don't really have a take right now. You know where I stand. Ohio State 2023 Natty champs, not going to be close. Already gave out my World Series predictions. We'll talk college football a little bit later. Other than that,
Who's
thank
that
y'all
Thursday
for
night
tuning
game?
in.
We'll talk about that on the
Yeah,
next app.
we
Who's that
got
Thursday?
Bucks Ravens this week.
Oh wow! Give me the Ravens by a million.
People aren't gonna tune in now. You're giving away all your picks.
Well,
Yeah, hey viewers, next podcast we're doing a segment called the Margs and JJ's picks of the day. Obviously, Derek's gonna have to refrain himself, being a high tier college athlete that he is, but
respectable.
me and Matt are gonna be giving out free locks all week.
All
Follow
week long.
along.
Spoon
Boomer
feeding
Bust
on the
Podcast
kids.
is here to stay. Someone call Pat McAfee, tell him we're taking his spot, bussing with the boys. Nelk Podcast, don't matter. Boomer
Later.
Bust
It's
up
boom
next.
or bust till the day we die.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well,
Shout
thank
out
you.
Boss Julia.
Yes.
Thank you so much to everyone for watching this episode. I'll have our socials linked in our bio at the end of the episode here, so you can continue to subscribe, follow along, check us out. We'll drop pics on there, drop some takes, and thanks everyone for watching. We'll see y'all
Do me
next
a
time.
favor, turn the notifications on.
Turn the noties on. What
That's
does it hurt?
facts. That's facts. Turn the
And
noties
and
on.
drop a tier 1 sub to my boy Shoot the Rock on Twitch, man. Amazon Prime sub him up. Run
Yes,
up
sir.
the
Everyone got
stream.
Amazon Prime. Everyone's got Amazon Prime.
Yes,
Come on,
sir.
I know you got a free Twitch sub in there. Give it to my boy Woot.
Appreciate y'all. All right, we'll see everyone next time. Peace.
Peace.